I'll even say for the guys who have a contracting business that's working with two, that they could have been more successful with one. They originally start down this road of wanting to get leads, but what do you do to fix it? Well, here, I'm glad you asked. Here's what I do to fix it. I really work stuff. You really work stuff. So you have your website, but does it have content really? No, it doesn't. Nobody ever calls with this idea, by the way, for the record. And I've talked to literally thousands of people. We have hundreds of clients. Dozens of webmasters work here. We do all this work for you, by the way. This is what needs to be done. No one ever calls me that has one banging website. Everything's clicking. And they're like, I'm going to start a new company to do it again. You know why they don't? Because they're one of the most dominant ones in their marketplace. How do you get dominant in the marketplace? Hi there, it is Nolan Walker here. I'm going to address a topic today that comes up a lot. Someone's trying to start a second company website or to get a second web presence. I'm going to give you the pros and the cons, and the why and the what. Why the pros and cons, and what you should do. And so we get this a lot because many of you have a little bit of success online with a web presence, and then you want more leads. But you don't like the leads that you get from the places where you buy leads from. You want more organic leads and stuff coming from the web. And so you start to think, I'll start a second company to get a second website. Now let's talk about that for a minute. I'm going to tell you the cons. There are no pros here to speak of. I'm going to tell you the cons. You'll understand the pros as it goes. The cons are Google now is very much localized. You're a local service business. You're a local contractor. You may have multiple locations, but each around an address in a locale. The location needs to be verified. Verification is fine. If you have one house, it's okay. No more P.O. boxes for eons now, and no more virtual offices anymore. So it's got to be a legitimate office. So you have one location now, and it's a home, let's say, and you want a second one. Well, oops, you got to get rid of your house location. Why? Because if you're going to get a second location, they'll let you have one home but not two, and if you have two locations, no home. So that's not my rules, it's Google's. And what that means is if you have a house that you're out of, they don't want you to go get another house. And so if you go get a second one, the second one has to be a business. So you go get a second address, and then because you couldn't get the house, then you have to get rid of the first house and get another one for business. So to grow to two, you have to have two actual business locations. So I talk to guys all the time, they're like, Nolan, I'm smarter than Google. I don't care, I'll get all this. Now let me tell you this, they want to see another corporation name maybe. Sometimes when they get verified now, because they don't want a contractor violating basic Google webmaster rules, which this is, just getting a location to try to expand their own services. Because Google's job is to do the best job for the person coming to Google. And if they're strewn with the same company everywhere that's taking up these spots away from the more legitimate company that's actually located there, then the search algorithm hasn't done as good of a job. So Google doesn't want you to do this. Now, if it's a legitimate location, maybe the legitimate location, fine. But if you're starting the second company to get leads and it's not really a real company, you'll have a hard time getting the addresses, for one thing, that are legit, that'll actually get approved and stay up. And then on top of that, they might want to see your corporate documentation for the new company. But I talk to people like this and they go, oh, Nolan, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get a separate corporation. I'm going to get an address. I got a friend, a buddy. I know everybody in town. And they're going to give me ones that aren't used by Google, will be here, there, and the other. Well, fine. So now all these locations that you get need more reviews. They've got to have reviews. You've got your corporate documentation. You've got your original company that you had. And now you have this shill of a company that's been done for this. Now, I've seen people who actually had two different companies. They bought another contractor out or something, and that can work out. But when you're doing this work, why? My question is why? So why did you originally want to start the other company? It was to get more leads. All this trouble is real and will happen. And I'll even say for the guys who have a contracting business that's working with two that they could have been more successful with one. They originally started down this road of wanting to get leads, but what do you do to fix it? Well, here, I'm glad you asked. Here's what I do to fix it. I really work stuff. You really work stuff. So you have your website, but does it have content really? No, it doesn't. Nobody ever calls with this idea, by the way, for the record. And I've talked to literally thousands of people. We have hundreds of clients. Dozens of webmasters work here. We do all this work for you, by the way. This is what needs to be done. No one ever calls me that has one banging website. Everything's clicking, and they're like, I'm going to start a new company to do it again. You know why they don't? Because they're one of the most dominant ones in their marketplace. How do you get dominant in the marketplace? You don't, stick your head in the sand, put your fingers in your ear. You listen, you're learning on stuff like this now. So you're listening to this now because you're like, I'm going to figure stuff out finally, right? I'm not going to make those same mistakes. I'm going to educate myself. And so, but it's a bit frustrating for me because I see it like it happens all the time. It's ridiculous. The content really, so do you really have good content or did you just throw some up? So really good content is structured. It's a block with text and a zinger, a block of text and a zinger, a block of text and a zinger. Zinger, that's what I call it, a picture, a video, a graphic, picture, video, graphic. It's structured, this is like the home page, the parent page. These pages that the primary keywords are so competitive. If you don't really have content, if you don't really do it great like we do here at the Webmasters, forget about it. Forget it. You're not going to show up. But if you do it, man, you're probably already sitting pretty to do this if you had the second company, because guess what? The first one's aged. It's got trust. It's got tenure. I mean, come on, it's ready to go. So the first site has the ability to dominate the marketplace. And content is important. All your auxiliary topics, do you have pages of content for them? If there's no page of content, there's no basis for the organic keyword to show up. There's no basis for the map to show up. You've got to have it. You don't have to go into that detail on all those internal pages, but this overall effort better be great, because these are the items I'm talking about that the search engine is going to judge to get you to immersively dominate your market. Reviews, and lots of them, lots and lots of them. No whining about it. I don't want to hear it. Lots and lots of reviews. You ask everybody, you tell everybody, you work on everybody, you hand them paper, you call them, you text them. We integrate them to the website. We give you an app where you can punch in their phone number and automatically send them the links to your Google and Facebook reviews out to your clients. Anything you can do to get more reviews. And no, not reviews on third parties, reviews like Google reviews, Facebook reviews, stuff like that. Who cares if the third party one where you can bake up your own junk? Everybody knows that by now. And do you think the algorithm likes a third party weirdo review or a really good Google review? Maybe a Facebook review or Yelp or something like that is okay too, BBB. Reviews, lots of them. Google first, then others, and only the ones that matter and you know who they are. Social media. Really do social media. Okay, let's explain really do social media. Well, did you pay somebody to put up stock photography with stupid sayings? Did they celebrate national holidays that nobody ever cares about? That'd be bad, right? Who the heck would want to watch that? It's social. It means they want to see you, people at your company. So we manage like social ad spend, and we're worth every penny of doing it. It's really dumb to me if somebody get their phone and go, oh, Facebook, spend the money randomly and daisy chain it to whoever you want. And use these sorry stock photography ads that we put up. Well, that's not going to work. So you can pay someone like us to manage social spend, pay-per-click spend. It's worth it because we know how to work in that medium. We have certified people here. We have skilled people here to help you with it. But we can't make your post for you because we're not there. We don't have personalized photos. By the time you took a personalized photo, you hit a button, it's on your social media account, right? So we're not the place for that, but if you haven't done this on social media, pictures, videos of you, of your company, and then you paid someone to help you market it, then you didn't really do it. You didn't really do it. Design code, really do it. Nolan, I have a design. Well, come on, you're listening to this, watching this because you're getting educated. Do you think that your basic template has proper up-to-date code base so that Google can parcel the information that's there. I know it is template. Google knows it's a template. You have to find somebody you trust that you've done more due diligence on, like what you're doing now, and have that design code properly done. Now guys, as this stuff really gets done, then the thought process for how am I gonna get a lead and what am I gonna do, and should I start a second business? Should I start another location? It starts to melt away, because then leads start to come in. And then those thoughts that are not inappropriate, but ineffective thoughts, the ones that are not meant to be, they disappear. Those thoughts will go away. You start to focus on, I can guarantee you this is what the algorithm's judging, this is what they're looking for, and this is what they're judging to determine where you deserve to show up. Where you show up now, how many leads you get, is where you deserve to show up, where you deserve to be. By the algorithm, not me, not the webmasters, the algorithm. So GMB post, we do that, regular work, and actually really working on it. Blog posts regularly, regular content changes, regular content additions, citations, working on Google My Business, regular reviews. All these things will help your SEO and your organic keyword rankings, your map placement, reviews around the web, integrating factors like social media and YouTube and all kinds of stuff come together for this perfect synergy. And then you deserve to dominate. And then the thoughts of how you're going to get leads are no longer in your head, because you have leads. So if you really work it, it really will happen. I say it in this tone because I hear it so much, and people like hear it in one ear, it goes out the other. They don't really listen. They don't really ever get their website working. We have hundreds of satisfied clients, but those are the guys that really tried, that really fought until they found us. And then they participate a little bit themselves with the reviews and some social media and some other stuff. And then you'll stop doing that other stuff. So there you go. No second company, by God. Really work it, really dominate. That's it. I hope to hear from you. We'd love to be of service.